Hello, everyone. Renee here, and we are going to go ahead and make a trifold card, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can make this one. Same style, same card, just 3 different ways. So depending on what you have, you can go ahead and make it. It's a great card for the fall. It'll be a great card for the holidays, for Christmas and Hanukkah and all of those events that are coming up, and New Year's. It's just a great overall card and a DSP card. I'm going to try to, for the next time period, all the way up through December, so about 10 weeks, I'm going to be working with projects that are DSP oriented, so designer paper oriented. I'm very excited about that, and I have some great work and some simple work so that you can crank out those cards for the holidays. All right, so we're going to go live on Facebook, and I'll be back with you in just a second. There you go. I was just trying to get it so that I could turn off the extra voice. And here we are. We should be live, and everything should be good and working out for us. Let's see. Let's always check. I always like to check. Yes. Hello. Good morning. Let's see what time it is. It is 10:53. So it is about 7 minutes before 11 a.m. and that's when I told you I'd be on, and you can already see some things here. Here's some online designer paper, and we're going to be talking about this trifold card that I'm going to show you. The first things first, hi everybody. Make sure everybody's having a great morning. It's the holiday season. We have all kinds of holidays coming up, and last week I showed you something with a pumpkin. We are, even though this looks like Christmas paper here, we are going to use this paper to make a fall card. And I'm going to show you how this paper is great for the fall as well as Christmas. So these are online papers that are wonderful. And everybody, if you haven't seen this one, this is called the One Horse Open Sleigh. It is online, so you go to online exclusives. And this is, you're going to see me working a lot with this paper since it's just so gorgeous. All right, it is just so gorgeous. And I'm going to show you the flip side of this. So you can see, you already see that, right? So there's that. This is a little, there you go. There's the flip side. So just so that you see some of that. And so here it is. It's great paper, great paper. I used this side from this one, and I used this side from this one, and I used this side from this scenery. There's a bunch of sceneries, and use this side. So both sides are really handy. And I found that the back side of this paper is perfect for the fall. So I wanted to show you this. And again, I did give you the name, so you should be good. So that is the one that did designer paper I used. I'm going to be working with designer paper so that you can see how it works out. This I used in this is called the Distressed Gold 12 by 12 specialty paper. This is great paper. Can be used for all kinds of things, leaves and stems and all kinds of stuff. And I've been using that for stems and leaves a lot. So just gorgeous, really handy for the holidays if you haven't gotten that. And then this is the Traditions of Saint Nick. And I did get the bundle for this, and I am going to be cutting these out for the holidays and using this paper. Obviously, it's such gorgeous paper. You'll see it's just fabulous. There's that. Then there's this. Then there's that. I mean, it's just, it's too gorgeous for words. And then this. So 1, 2, look at that. How cute is that? Looks so pretty, right? And then that. Just making sure you saw it all. Then that. Then that. Yeah. And that. Yeah. And then the other side is what I used for the holiday. And there is that. It's gorgeous paper. That was that side. I used that one. This one, right? This one, which is this already. Then that one on that side. Isn't that fun? Look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Then I can see I'm a little crooked. I'm just going to fix this to make sure it's not crooked. There you go. Then this, look at that. It's that gorgeous paper. Gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Perfect for the holidays. So there's even more you're going to be seeing. There's some great paper out there this year, online exclusives, and make sure that you check that out on the online store. The other thing I'm going to be using is the Season of Chic with the Chic dies. All right. And specifically the dies that I used from that die set are the leaves. Yes, these are the leaves. I used those leaves for the Season of Chic, and then these Chic dies. And our card is going to be a fall card. So you can use any kind of leaves you like, but this is the one I'm using. The other thing I'm going to be using is the Country Corners dies, but this is where the technique is going to change up. I'm going to give you 3 different ways of doing this so that you can make these on your own if you don't have these dies. I used the second one in, the third one in, and the second to last one in. Those are the ones I used. Second one in from the largest, third one in from the largest. Oh, yes. And the fourth one in from the largest. I used a lot of these. Yes, that's right. I used this one as well. Fourth one in from the largest. And then I used the second from the smallest. Those are the ones I use. These are great die set. They're really, really handy, and I just love them. And then the stamps that I used were these 2. And of course, thinking of you. And I could use I'm here for you, wishing you the brightest birthday. And that is, I will show you where that goes at the end, where the card could go. It's going to go on that last little piece, and I'll show you that. Okay, it's part of the sentiments. Okay, so here we go. So let's look at what we're going to build. And this is the one that thanks to Cindy Baker Terry, Cindy Terry Baker. Yes, Cindy Terry. Yes, Cindy Terry Baker, I believe it's Cindy Baker Terry. I always forget she has, so I always forget the names, but she is a demo with me, and she is with Team Bethany Barnard, and they did an event, and this was her card that she presented. It's a great, great card, and she used those dies. She used a different die for the label. That was the second from the smallest label that I'm using, and you'll see that. So this was one from her. And then I thought, well, why can't someone who doesn't have the dies make it? And so there are 2 ways to make it. And one of the ways is to use our beautiful triple punch. The triple punch is right here. It's called the Berry Best Trio Punch, Berry Best Trio Punch. And I use this right here. I'm going to show you how to do that. Or you can use your great, wonderful scoreboard from Stampin' Up, which is wonderful. This is the best board on earth. I don't know why anyone would get any other board. I've seen them all, and this is really, if you're going to get one, this is the one to get, by the way. Okay, so anyway, so we use the Very Best Trio Punch to build these corners, or we can cut them, and I'm going to give you all those dimensions. And here's this card. I'm going to make one that is similar to this one, but different with different papers. But this used the Trio Punch to make it. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. So basically, if you're going to make this one, you just use the cottage in dies, and you just use the second in, third in. This is the fourth one in, and then I use the label from second from the last. But if you decide not to, we're going to talk about those measurements. Okay, first of all, let's look at the card. The card, the base card, is going to be a 10.5 by 4.25. Okay, scored at 3.5 and 7. That is going to be our base card. And if you use whites, then you're going to make your, then you're going to cut 3 second from the largest, okay, of these from that set. But let's say you don't have that cottage in set. Well, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to go ahead and cut a piece of the cardstock that is 4.5 by 3. Okay, 4.5 by 3. And then if you just have the scoring board, you're going to go in at the top at 3/4 and down at the side at 3/4. And then you're going to put it into your machine and cut it. But if you have this great trio punch, all you have to do is go ahead, put it in there, slide it in, and press down. And you're going to do that to all 4 corners. And once you do that, you flip that over, put it always in the same way. Always put it in the same way. So it's sticking out this way. So I'm taking it, it's pointing this way. I'm sticking it in this way. So that's the way it's going to go. And do the same thing, always the same way. Just make sure everything's cool. And then you do the 4 corners, and then I flip it, and I again do it the same way. I don't change my orientation. Okay. And then you build your card. So 4.5 by 3. And of course you need 3 of those. And that produces, that is in the card base color. So that would be these. Okay. Then you are going to do the DSP, which was third from the smallest, and you need 3 of these as well. Okay, you're going to need 3 of those as well. And the DSP is going to be a 4 by 2.5, a 4 by 2.5. And if you're, again, this is if you're not using the dies. And so then what you're going to do with that 4.5, 4 by 2.5 is you're going to go in 3/4 again and 3/4 on all the corners, and then go ahead and cut those corners off. Okay, so you're going to simply go 3/4 up, 3/4 in, and cut. Otherwise, you're simply going to do the same thing. You're going to go in for that DSP that's going to go on top of that card base hexagon, and you're going to go in the same way each corner and cut. Okay, all 4 corners, and that's how you get this. All right, then and I'll go over these again so you'll definitely be able to see. Then again, you'll have a 3.5 by 2.25. That is the smallest one. That is the smallest one. So we just cut this DSP here. We have cut the card base, we've cut the DSP, we've made 3 of those like we did the card bases. All right. Then we are going to make this one, which is the 4th smallest one in the cottage in dies. or we're going to cut a 3.5 by 2.25. And we're going to go in with if you're going to use your cutter again, you're going to go 3/4, 3/4. So you see everything's 3/4. And then you're going to go in exactly the same way again. You're going to go in here like this, and then you're going to go like that. And you're going to turn it around and go in the exact same way. And you're going to cut, and you do those again 4 times, but only four of the corners, but only again, you need one of these versus 3 like the others. And then a label. The label should be 2.5 long. You can decide 3/4 of an inch, depends on you and your image and what you have, but 2.5 by 3/4, 1.25 inches. I wouldn't go too fat. I would go up to 1.25 inches. And so that would be your basic card material. So let's look at what we're going to create for you today. All right. Here it is. Okay. So the other thing that we cut, which I did not mention, one more item we cut, we are going to cut 3 rectangles that'll go over the base card. Okay, so we need these 3. So the last item that you will need for this card is a 3.25 by 4. These are each 3.25 by 4, and you need 3 of these. Here is your base card. Okay, which was the 10.5 by 4.25, scored at 3.5 and 7. The way you fold this, the front goes mountain, then valley, and it'll close like this. Okay, so there we go. So then I'm going to go ahead and put on my first layer. And you see the designer paper that I used. I used the St. Nick designer paper. Just going to put some glue on there. And I'm going to set that on here. So you can have 3 different paper designs. You can have all the same designs, or you can do what I do. And I did that on 2 of them, where the center one is different from the sides. I kind of like that. You want to make sure when you do this again, remember that you always want to line up. So I'm kind of looking here where this is so that it lines up with that top so that they are the same. And I'm going to use this one for the center. And this one was from the 6x6 pack, the winter scenes, which is gorgeous. Both of these designer papers are absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to try and get that straight. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. So then you're going to go ahead. There you go. There's the basic card. All right. Then you're going to use those card bases, correct? And that value again, just to show you, just to make sure you're on the same page. You need 3 of those, as you see here, 3 of those, and they're 4.5 by 3. Okay, 4.5 by 3. And you're going to have 3 of these. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and layer these, then glue them on at the end. That's what I always do. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put the card away right over here in a safe little spot so I can find it again. And then what I'm going to do is this was the designer paper that we cut, and you needed 3 of those. And again, the way I'm doing that is it's going to go 2 and 2 and 1 like this. Okay. And again, those DSPs were going to be a 4 by 2.5. Yes, 4 by 2.5. All right. Otherwise, and I'm just going to lay that in the center here. All right, I'm going to use my trusty, get that, I got a little glue on the side there. That's okay. I'm going to use my trusty eraser once it dries. When you use, you can get rid of you truly can get rid of the glue. You just have to make sure, as I can line them up with my scoring sheet here. Make sure they're kind of good. They are. Yeah, and always trying to line up. Forgot what I was saying before, but anyway, it's okay. That's what happens when it's live. Yeah, that looks good. It's easier to I think to manage these because of these lines, and so it makes it easier to align them. All right, so that's that. Okay, and so what I did, as I told you before, I actually cut the designer paper and put Thinking of You, which is from the Chic stamp set. You can have Happy Thanksgiving here. You can do anything you like. I put Thinking of You, and then we'd go ahead and put this down. We can put this one down first. That's the last page of the trifold, and like this. All right. Now, the thing with this is that you can have a sentiment here, and this is where I was talking about that you could use wishing you the best and birthday ever, or something like I'm here for you, or love you. And you can definitely do that right here if you like. I just left that open for my signature, and I'm going to show you on the back here. You can cut a piece. This is light enough, so I didn't cut a piece of cardstock, but you can use a 3 1/4 by 4. That would be a piece of white cardstock white, 3 1/4, I believe I said, by 4, and that'll come over here where you can write your sentiment. So right on that back, yeah, 3 1/4 by 4, you can have a piece, and then you can write your sentiment. Here I left more space, and so I would just write what I wanted to say right here, which is usually not much, and then my signature. I'm not a big writer. All right, so there is another piece of white cardstock that you could use for that. All right, so this piece, all I need is this. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to glue this on because I'm just going to put my signature there, and then I'm going to put a piece of white cardstock on the back and do it that way. And that's going to be right there. That's my last page. And I stamped from the Chic stamp set. I did stamp this. I used this stamp right here. So that's the one I used to put there. And then for this one, what we're going to do, so using the die cuts, I die cut that, and then I die cut this, and I'm going to lay this over to do that front piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply, the way I do this, I mean, one can, as my husband says, which is so true, you can use a toothpick, which is great. But as you've seen me before, I usually get my little dollop here, and then I start spreading. And I just use what I have. I know I don't have to have it all over the place. And again, just watch it bubble up. That's what I do. Just watch it bubble up. There you go. I think that's good. I think that's good. Again, I don't believe you have to have it everywhere. There you go. And so that one would be done. So I put that there, and I believe I put that there like that, and then this would go over it. Yes, so this would go a little higher. Yeah, so that would be a little higher is what I want it to be. So I would take this now and put glue on here. These are going to be glued down. And I'm going to go right about here. Put it high enough. And then this one is going to go right here so that that can go right there. Yeah, perfect. So that one is going to go again. Just look for the little bead of glue. Once you have that bead, then you're going to spread it around. This is going to go under the, so these, when I do these fine ones, we do have paper where you can, we have an adhesive paper that you can die cut with these pieces. Yeah, I think that's what it was. One of the tricks that I have mentioned in the past is that when you do this, to lie it down and then let it be. Don't touch it again. So there's that, okay? And now I'm going to use dimensionals for this part. And here are the dimensionals that I'm going to use. So again, this piece that I'm using now can be either larger or smaller. But it should be 2.5 long because I wanted the length of the designer paper here. So this can be either, want it to be that length. I want to go a little bit further down. There you go. There you go. And I'm probably going to use a little triad of gems right there, just because it'll make it so much prettier. And we'll see what new gems I use. We'll have to look at the, oh, I love these gems anyway, the champagne rhinestone basic jewels. I'm not sure they have these anymore. When they get their jewels out, I suggest that you go ahead and get them. If you like jewels, get them because they might not bring them back. And if you have a favorite, you tend to use it over and over again because you buy a certain color paper, you buy certain, because everything matches so well, you buy certain color paper, you buy, then, you can buy the gems that match and it'll be beautiful. It'll be gorgeous. And that's the thing about the Stampin' Up! Company. Okay, so we got those two. This is my next. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this onto this. What I did here is I did use the stamp from the Schick, and then what I did, I used the stamp from the Schick. Okay, and then I went ahead and used the pecan pie. So the color of this is pecan pie. And I used then Mossy Meadow to stamp this. And then I put this in the pecan pie and just toned it down, a little bit. Okay. And this one was a die. I had first stamped with this stamp. And then I went ahead again and just added a little bit of, and I cut it out after I stamped it, and then just added a little bit of the pecan pie to it with the dauber. Daubers do come in handy and for many reasons. And so that's how I did that one. So that's going to be there. Then I die cut this one out. that flew away. And let's go ahead and get that bead again out. So, and as I see the bead, I know it's flowing. I go to the fattest part, and then I start just spreading. And so then I'm going to put that on there like that. And then like that. Now, the way I saw this is I'm going to put this one in first. All right. And again, I left some of those pieces on the inside this time, which of course makes it easier. So when you die cut, you see there's some extra. I don't know if you can see that. You see right there. Yeah. See, I left some of these extra pieces in sometimes, and I do that on purpose because I don't need it as broken up. So I'm good with that. And so we're going to go here like that. And then we're going to go here like that. And I believe here like this. I believe I did this one next, and then this one. Yes, this one goes right here. Yeah, like that. Okay, and again, I'm going to go ahead, since I know it's flowing anyway, go to the thickest parts and then spread. Go to the thicker parts and then spread. That's how I do it. Now I put that right there, right there. And then that's going to come right here. It's going to come right here. These are all getting glued on. And then I decided I might bring that up just a little bit. Yeah. Bring that up just a little bit and over. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that. I decided to do it this way with a little pop of color. This one I used our new pick of the patch bundle, and I stamped with the big pumpkin, and I stamped in pecan pie. So basically you just stamp it in the pecan pie. Make it here. You stamp it in the pecan pie, which was right here. And so I took the ink pad, stamped it, and then again I take the little dauber and I just went a little bit with the pecan pie around the edges just to give it a little more dimension and to tone it down so that it didn't jump out too much on me. So I love the pick of the patch. And then this was our this is our punch, and I love punches. And I took this paper and I went ahead and stamped out the little stem in that color, bringing this all together. And that's what we love about Stampin' Up! Is how it all comes together. This again is going to be on dimensionals. I'm going to use a larger dimensional on these. I'm going to do one. You know, when I first used to do this, I used to not use as many dimensionals. I mean, but, and sometimes I don't use as many like on that one. But with this one, I wanted to stand up. I wanted to be supported. And so I go ahead and put more on there. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. And then this becomes thinking of you, and you literally could go ahead and say Happy Thanksgiving here if you have a small little Happy Thanksgiving, any kind of, grateful for you. There's all kinds of little sentiments, and then you would write on the back, and we'll cut that piece for you so you can see how that's going to look, because with the pecan pie, we're going to have to do that. This is a very important part, this next part. I hope you haven't left, because this is the important part on how you're going to do this. Okay, so it's going to go here, here, and here. So you can see how that's going to look. It's just a lovely, lovely card. And what you have to do is you have to make sure that you don't go beyond 5.5. All right, so this is 4 1/4. Okay, so you can go literally up an inch from the bottom. One way to do this is from the bottom. You can mark 1 1/4. So you can go ahead and do your marking at 1 1/4 with your pencil mark so that you can bring it to that. Or you can go ahead and just take your grid paper and align your grid paper, and then go ahead and just put it in there. Okay, the best thing to do here, make sure it's stationary there. I'm just going to do this to make sure that it doesn't move on me. It's always nice about this. There you go. I've got that and that. Now I'm just going to put it on this section, the bottom half. I just need it on the bottom half, so no more than half. Okay, and then especially because a lot of times what I do is I kind of slide it down to where I need it. You want to make sure that it's even on both sides, and then you just slide to your 5.5. That's 5.5. There you go. I went to my 5.5 line, which is right here, and that's all I did. Okay, and that's straight, so that's good. That's the 5.5. That's good. I can do that on my middle piece as well. And again, just put some glue on that bottom half. And then I'm going to bring it down to that 5.5 point. And there you go. And you can check it with this. You can also look there and see how that looks. A little askew here for me. There you go. That looks better. That looks better. Yeah. And you can check right here like this. See? And you want to make sure that you're, oh no. Oh no. I didn't go over in the middle. Besides going to the 5.5 point, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh, good. You've seen me do that before. Has to go over a little bit. Once you do this and you've taken it off, luckily it's fine. Nobody will know, but what you do need to do, because it wasn't centered this way, what you do need to do is re-glue it, because it'll be hard to get it steadfast, or it'll stick right. It'll be too sticky. So you want to make sure you're centered here and here. That's going to be important. Then you're at your 5.5, your 5. There you go. That's better. There you go. You had a lovely card. Just a lovely card. And then my last one. Again, you want to make sure that it's centered right here at the corner. And you're going to go to the 5.5 right up there. And you're going to make sure you're in the center here and here. You're going to go up to the 5.5. And there you're going to put that down. And there's your gorgeous card. I love this card. It is very earthy, which I like a lot of times, but it does not come off too dark, which I like even better. And that's because I use those lighter tones here. And I think that really sets it off. And then there's your card. You're going to put it in your envelope this way. Okay, so we talked about the back, and we're going to do that for you now. Okay, but there's that. All right, so I'm going to use this extra piece because that'll work perfectly. And what I want is, as I said before, I believe I said 3 1/4. And I cut a 3 1/4 down here, cutting 3 1/4 by 4. That's what I want. I want a 3 1/4 by 4. And again, a sweet little sentiment there will be great. And then on that back piece right here, so on that back piece, that 3 1/4 by 4 is going to go right down here. Yeah, and I'm going to glue that down because I am probably going to go ahead and put, I have a small Happy Thanksgiving in my repertoire of stamps, and I'm going to use that. I am definitely going to use that, and there's that, see? And so you can write your message right there, and then you can have thinking of you, Happy Thanksgiving, grateful for you, any season greetings, anything you would like to put in there, you could put in the middle of that, and then go ahead and have everything else on the back. And again, it goes into your card this way. Loving this card. All right, so the season of chic in the annual catalog with the chic dies is definitely a way to go for the fall. As you see, it works out just perfectly. And then getting that new designer online paper will be great. So it just all fits well together. And again, this is the one that I made using the triple punch. All right, so you can see that. And then this is the one with the mini catalog new leaf set and designer paper. This all comes from the mini catalog. So that's really pretty. All right, so and this is colors again are the pecan pie, pumpkin pie, mossy meadow is what I used. All right, and this is more the crumb cake in here. So there is some crumb cake in here with that designer paper. All right, thanks so much. I am so glad you joined me today. I hope you will build this card using either the triple punch here, the trio punch, the berry trio punch, or the very best. I think it's no, the very best trio punch. That's what it's called, the very best trio punch, your scoreboard, or of course your cottage in dies. So either way, you can make this card. All right. Thanks very much. If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget to go to my Facebook page. Please like or heart this video so that I know you saw it, or comment. What do you think of this card? Which way are you going to make this card? All right. All right. Thank you and goodbye for now.